everybody, and welcome back to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I'm going to be playing Surviving the Aftermath, which is a colony survival game set after a post-apocalyptic meteor shower that has wiped out most of the world. I've played a little bit of this, been playing around with it to have a bit of fun with it, and I'm really enjoying it, and I thought this would be a really great game to play as a bit of a stream. So we're going to jump in and create a brand new game. I've been playing around with it a little bit, but I haven't gotten too far at all. I think for this first one, we'll just keep it nice and simple. Essentially, the civilization as we know it has fallen apart. Comets and space junk have rained down and caused huge issues for the planet's surface. So we are going to be jumping straight back in. I will leave the tutorial on because I haven't done much with it. I think we're going to go as just an easy playthrough. So there's all different things that you can select. I'm just going to go for an easy one to start off with because we're just playing this kind of casually. In terms of specialists, now you get two special, almost like hero style characters. I really like having a scavenger and a scientist. Now there's all different classes. I think there's 4 total: scavenger, scientist, scout, and fighter. The fighters, I haven't done too much with combat, and you get opportunities to recruit these specialists a little bit later on. I find that the scavenger and the scientist for me are a pretty good starting one. But obviously, if you're playing this, pick whichever one you want. Now we need to select a symbol and a flag for our colony. I do kind of like the platypus. It does seem appropriate as an Australian. Celtic knotwork though. Yeah. Look, I'm always going to lean slightly towards Celtic knotwork as a... we've got a Celtic Yggdrasil. I'll tell you what. Yeah, now look, I really like the Celtic knotwork, and we'll go... Let's even get some like colours. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Colony name. Let's call it... Actually, what are some of the options? Let's have a quick look. Alexandria, Mecklenburg, Skylight. I like Skylight. I've got a few more, but I like Skylight. Edgeburn, Zoria, Grumdiff, New Albion, Edgeburn, Lyra, Kruger Falls, Bitter Springs. Okay, so there's a pretty limited selection. I like Skylight. That's a good name. I like that quite a bit. Colony motto. Under the shade we flourish. Unity equals strength. Yeah, I like adapt and overcome. That's good. Let's do adapt and overcome, hey? Alright. Ready to rock and roll. You can change the map seed if you want. I have no idea what the map seed numbers do. I don't know how to influence them in particular ways. I haven't played around with it that much, but if you do have any really good map seeds, if you've played this game and you know how this works, tell me in the comments, because I wouldn't mind setting up a custom map seed a little bit later on. Alrighty, let's start the game. Alrighty. And here we are. Excellent. Here we are, arrived at our new home. Now, I'll just pause the game really quickly. So this is going to be our area that we can build. There is a huge amount of land that we can access here. Lots and lots of space to do some really, really good and interesting building. Obviously, this swampland down here we're not going to be able to build on, but all of this usable land in here. It's going to take us a while to explore all of this, and I'll take you through all of the exploration a little bit later on. What's interesting is that you don't always start next to water. In fact, this is the first time I've actually seen this. Like the other one that I played around with, it looks like I started next to hills. So this could be good, because the one I sort of had a bit of a play around with, I actually had a bit of trouble getting access to good, clean, fresh water. If this is fresh water, we're in a great position to start the game. So this is our settler. Our settler here is going to be our first main building unit, and he's only able to build one item, which is the campsite. Now, the campsite is kind of like the town hall in Age of Empires, or the city centre in other building construction and city management games. Now, as you can see, we can't build it on top of this big pile of junk. We could build it right up here if we wanted to, but I like to leave a little bit of space away from the gate, and I also like to make sure that we can build roads wherever we're putting our things. Roads are actually really important in this game. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place our camp here. We'll hit play. Our settler's going to quickly go and set up our little campsite here now. And the reason I've placed it here is so that we can build a central road from the gate up here, and then we can build the road running across here. as well, giving us access to lots of resources early on. Brilliant. Now, we'll pause the game again really quickly because we now get access to some free buildings. We get access to 2 tents for free. Tents are essentially accommodation and early game housing for your settlers. I'm going to place my tents facing this way on the main road across from the campsite. Probably move our main central housing a little bit later on. It's not great to have it super close to this big pile of junk, which, as I said, will become the gate a little bit later on. The gate gives you access to the outside world, and maybe this is a good time to show that off. As you can see, our little town is just one in a region that is absolutely massive. And to explore this region, we're going to be sending our specialists out. Now, our scavenger specialist is going to be able to get items from here, and our scientist is going to be able to get us research points from here. It doesn't have to be those specific specialists, but if they've got a specialty like scientist, for example, they're able to get resources and the science points at a much faster and more efficient rate. Now, in terms of resource management, so we're going to start off with the stockpile. The stockpile allows us to gather resources from, I think I've actually left a 2. Did I leave a 2 space there? No, surely not. Did I did. Oops. Oh well, it'll be fine. The stockpile lets us harvest wood resources, and the food storage lets us harvest food. So they're the free buildings for food gathering and resource gathering. Now we also get a water collector for free, and joyous day, we're actually right on top of water, so we just have to position this in a way that gives us really good efficiency. I really like to insist on 100% efficiency. This side doesn't look like it's going to be a great spot for us to get that 100% efficiency, so let's try over this side. I think we're going to have a bit more luck over here. 98%, 100%. Yeah, I think we might build our water collector down around here. Now, these are impact sites that have become polluted and corruptible. If our villagers walk through here or get too close to these, I'll show you the pollution map really quickly, it's going to start to injure them and make them sick. So we want to be a bit careful putting too many things near the pollution hotspots. But given that we have already this kind of wasteland area here, I might actually think about putting our junk pile and our toilets over this side a bit more, because they pollute the land as well. So everything's ready to go. We can resume time, and all of these buildings are now going to build extremely quickly, as you can see. Now, the blue shovel icon means that this is close enough to gather resources from nearby nodes. In this case, it's close enough to gather these berry resources. Perfect, we don't need to do anything. But this one here, I haven't built it on top of any wood resources. So what we're going to do is click Move Work Area, and I can actually place where I want them to harvest. And when it highlights green, that's going to be ones that can harvest items. In this case, I'm actually just going to do it on this one because I want to be able to build out into here pretty quickly. I am going to build out into here too eventually, but there's no rush gathering these straight away. So we're just going to gather wood from here. That means it's nice and close. We can now send up the flare. Shoot the flare. There is voice acting for the read-throughs, but I'm not going to play that. It's very long, and the voice actor doesn't always say what the text actually says, which I know is silly, but does kind of get me a little bit.
We've reached a milestone.
Have reached a milestone. Now, I'm going to pause the game really quickly. So these are all of our villagers. You can open up their stats. You can get just the basic information, which my head is kind of in front of a little bit. And you can also get the detailed information, which also gives you some more information on each of them. But I very rarely need to look too much at these, and it doesn't change too much for me. Now, we have some people, which means we can build some roads. And I did indeed leave a 2 gap here, which is extremely inefficient. But unfortunately, that's what I did. I'm gonna build some roads there, build some roads here. It's not the end of the game, it's just very mildly frustrating. And we're also going to put down some extra tents. I'm going to place one more tent like this, and we'll place the tents bordering along the back of these ones. It's good to kind of get a pretty tight cluster going for your tents and for your roads. It helps with efficiency. The workers, they run very, very slowly if they're not running over the roads. Not very, very slowly, but there's a very obvious difference in the speed at which they move. We might jump to 2 times speed because for the moment there's nothing too interesting happening. But all of these workers are now going to immediately allocate themselves to carriers and transporters. So these people are going to do building, they're going to do automatic resource gathering. Because we haven't created any buildings that give them specific tasks, they're just going to become general workers for the moment. So, main building resources. We've got wood, plastic, metal, and concrete, but it doesn't look like we've started with any access to concrete, which is fine, because concrete's not a much later, but a bit of a later game acquisition. It is good that we have access to metal, though. Metal's one of those ones that you do need access to a little bit earlier. So, our workers will power away for a little bit, gathering these resources, building our roads. We're in a really good position now because we've got plenty of houses for people to be nice and happy. You can always see your population here to see how much extra space you've got. In this case, we've got 6 out of 18, so essentially we've got 18 people and 6 extra houses. And if we flick through these, you'll see that this house has 0 people in it, this house has 1 in, this has 2 in. So we've got 6 extra houses, because over time you will start to have more people come along, more people arrive, and you can recruit them, which is obviously a very, very good idea. Speed up time again a little bit, but we also want to start looking at building some other items as well. One of the ones that I definitely recommend you do not sleep on is the outhouse. The game doesn't even let you know that this is a thing, but it definitely is one of those vital buildings that you don't know about until much, much later. So we're going to build our road down here. That's our water supply. It's going to be blocked a little bit by that construction there, the extra wood that's left over. Let's build our outhouses down along here. So I'll just build the road to here. And let's have a quick look. So it's a good idea to not have your outhouses anywhere near your actual buildings. And I do recommend starting off with 2. Because we're not going to really be building anything down here. Got no qualms just chucking them down there by themselves. You don't want outhouses near anybody or any housing in particular because they slowly generate pollution. Probably in a good position to potentially look at building another water collector. I do recommend getting a bit of extra water early on. Problem is, this coastline... Got it the wrong way around. I was wondering why... This coastline's not great for a collector, in fact. That's only 79%, 72%. You really want to have that efficiency up at the 100% mark. 62% is atrocious. Yeah, as you can see, not a lot of good spaces here, and we actually can't even build out this far without it being a huge problem. So, not a lot of great spots, which is kind of disappointing. Annoyingly, I think we might actually have to look over here. 79%. Bit of a bugger. I was really hoping for some options for our... You can see here this cliff face here is causing a bit of a problem. And down this way, the actual land extends out into this bog, which means we can't build it. Is there any other water that we have access to up around here? No. So actually, hilariously, I've actually got a similar problem that I had to my previous game where I can't actually place the water in a section that's really ideal. I wonder if I could go maybe a bit creative here. No, not really. That's okay. It's blocking us here. Build it on that water section. I'll build it there. 62%, 63%, 58%. Yeah, damn. 79%, but that's going to destroy our road. Good, okay. So, wood deposit depleted. So we've actually picked up all that wood. I'm actually now going to tell them to come down and get rid of this wood here, because it's kind of blocking the construction. I might be able to position another water collector in a good spot around here, but I'll have to wait and see. We don't have to use the water collector. We can actually use the water well. We just want to make sure that it's on fertile soil, which is down here, and away from pollution if possible. So we could put some here. This would give us 12 water. I could even chuck it right on top of the polluted area here. I don't really want to do that, so I might chuck this well stick it somewhere where there's water. I could build it right next to here because I can't build anything there. I might do that. I might build that there. And that should give us a good amount of water to start off. And the other thing we want to do is build some clean water storage. I normally like to chuck these out the back of the camp, just because it's a nice central area where I can always be assured that I've got plenty of access to resources. So around the camp, we're going to start surrounding our buildings with roads. You'll notice that we have run out of resources. In fact, plastic is our biggest resource that we're lacking at the moment. Good news. We can actually start collecting plastic with a recycler. I'm going to position our recycler right next to this. Yeah, because I want to build houses down here. I guess I could do it like this, because eventually we will build roads up through there. Oh, it doesn't let me building there. What's in the way? Oh, there's a berry bush in the way. Okay. I'll tell you what, for the moment then we'll place our recycler. I actually really want to build it up there. It's a really good spot for it. Berry bush is in the way there too. Alright, we'll figure something else out with the tents, because we will need to start building more tents eventually. Place it here. We want to make this the highest priority actually, because that is the building we need access to the soonest. Probably want to build a trapper or a fishing pier. I'll have a quick look, see if there's any good spots for the fishing pier. There you go, 100%. I might move it a little bit further away from poo, the outhouse. There. So yeah, I'm going to speed up time a little bit because we have run out of resources for the moment. But, once we get the recycler up and running, we'll be in a good position for some more resources. Now our specialists, there's not much they can actually do for the moment. You can see they give some stats on the side, but we can't actually do much with them here until we are able to head out into the big wide world, which we're a little bit away from for the moment. The gate's going to cost us quite a bit to be able to build. We don't quite have resources for that. So once we get the recycle built, we'll be in a good position to start making some progress. It's almost gone. Good, they're building a recycle. As soon as that wood's gone, I'll just move this over to... Oh, we've got an event. Let me move this up to here. Let's clear out these two first, because we'll put some stuff down there. So...
Not everybody is equally skilled in the art of building.
Oh no, I should have waited.
One of the colonists seems extraordinarily bad at it.
Just press escape. Oh good, okay. So, you'll notice there that... pause this. We want to get some scraps. You'll notice there that I had the option of providing 9 plastic or leaving it be. I really want to do the 9 plastic. It's always been worth it whenever I have provided the materials that are required. So we're going to try and get that 9 plastic. I'm hoping that they can gather this before we run out of the time on this event. But that's good to know that you can, if you don't have the resources straight away, you can always hit escape. We'll hire someone else to help gather some plastic too. Should have some plastic soon. We get 12 per 5 plastic, 12 plastic scrap per plastic. So we should be in a good position. 7. I think we needed 9, didn't we? Give it a hot shot. I'll do it at the very last second. Just in case we get it. Okay, we'll go down to normal time. 70%, we're just going to miss out. 3, 2... Right, we'll leave it be.
Not everybody
Damn,
is
we're
equally
close.
skilled in the art of building.
Nothing happens. There you go. Damn. Oh, no, his tent burned down. So maybe we should have just let that event disappear in hindsight, because we might lose this tent now. So what I've done is I've automatically asked them to repair the tent. It's a good way to prevent the fire spreading to other tents and causing issues for us. So once we start to do a bit more production, I can focus on also building us a trapper. Now that we've got the fishing, we also want to get a trapper who's going to start catching us food. I normally like to put the trapper. Oh, here you go, got another event. Ah, rotten rations. Some of the food's gone bad. We're not going to keep the food. It's not worth it. We'll throw it out. We'll get more food. Yeah, to get some happiness from that. So that was worth it. So the trapper works really well when you place him near forest, but again, we don't actually have to place him right now. We can place him anywhere and he will move I can move his work zone to wherever we want to place it. In this case, I'm going to place him across from the fisherman, and when we're ready, I'll then move his zone to where there's more trees, so we can send him out to catch food out here. Then, where's the wood deposit depleted? Yeah, wait a second, and then move this up towards the buildings up there. There's lots of wood up here. Perfect. So it's a good idea to keep a bit of an eye on your resources and keep an eye on the log over towards the left-hand side. Speed up time again. Make sure we're getting plenty of resources. Probably will I need to get rid of this plastic because it's right in the way of where I want to start building things. Some water collection. So we want to save up plenty of water. At the moment, we can save up 1,300. That's outstanding. That's a good amount of water because there are events like droughts that come through and can cause problems for us. So we want to make sure that we're well prepared for any of the events that can come. Might build another well in a little bit. There's no rush. Probably could be worth building a lumberyard too to increase our wood production. I know it looks like we are absolutely drowning in wood production, but you'd be surprised how quickly you start to burn through resources. Genuinely. It's genuinely quite crazy. Colonist Emily is injured. Okay, so now we can build our medical tent. Place our medical tent, I think, just here. Yeah, that's a good spot. And we'll make this the highest priority. So the longer colonists are injured for, the more likely they are to have serious issues. And I was hoping that we'd get the medical tent. Wow, yeah, we're burning through that really quickly. I was hoping we'd get the medical tent up and running a bit later, just because it does cost a bit to get it going, but it's okay. This one looks like a fun person.
Someone seems to have been stealing wood from the storage. A few colonists go to investigate.
Definitely leave
And
the
after a
food
bit of
alone.
detective work.
Some extra happiness.